Parents of Ekpe kidnapped students reunite with their children as lawmakers in the community recount ordeal. And staying on news of the released students, lawmakers in the Lagos State House of Assembly express confidence in the legislature's anti-kidnapping law. We have details coming up. It's always a delight to have you join us on Lagos Parliament, the program that brings your legislature closer to you. I'm regular host Igbonla Students. Last week, our focus was on the bill of the House which intends to make the teaching and learning of Yoruba language compulsory across public and private schools in Lagos State. But this week, we'll be talking about the release of the students of Igbonla Model College in Ekpe area of Lagos, as well as the efforts put in place by the Lagos State House of Assembly in bringing the activities of kidnappers within the metropolis to an end. This is Lagos Parliament. I welcome you once again.
Get closer to your legislators. See them in action as they deliberate on moving the state forward. Watch updates on weekly events, presentation of bills, passage of laws, adoption of resolutions, and many more. Also, get a chance to meet the lawmaker of the week and watch the legislators observe plenary in Yoruba language. Lagos Parliament, every Thursday 7:30 p.m. and Sunday 11 a.m. respectively on TVC News Nigeria and TVC Entertainment. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislators closer to you.
After 65 days in captivity, news filtered in that the kidnapped students of Igbonla Model College in Ekpe area of Lagos have been released. This good news elicited the reactions of some lawmakers in the Lagos State House of Assembly, just as parents of the kidnapped students recount their ordeal.
There's 100 million. They should come and help us. I want my son.
65 days of emotional and psychological torture ended on the 29th of July. The kidnapped students of Lagos Model College, Igbonla, in the Ekpe area of Lagos, were finally released by their abductors.
We've been working diligently to ensure the security of lives and property. Though it has taken long for us to have these children back of us before, but in our wisdom, we believe it is better for us to have them here back safely and well, rather than for us to have lost some of the things that we have jeopardized the security.
The acting president, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, SAN, we must underscore the role he played in this matter. He was the person that first got in contact with us in Ondo State to raise these matters. And that was about over a month ago at the NEC meeting when he called me. And I said, we will make efforts. The governor body also called thereafter. And I said, okay, we'll make efforts.
Parents of the kidnapped students could not hide their joy.
I feel relieved. I feel happy, very elated. That stress of 65 days is finally, has finally come to an end.
Members of the Lagos State House of Assembly also gave their reactions.
The kids are alive and are now connected with their families. The release will further show to people that the fact that the government is not saying something, or the government is not on the pages of newspapers or in the news, this is what we are doing, does not mean the government is not doing anything.
Glory be to God, and we should thank God Almighty for this feat achieved by the Lagos State government. We should thank the assiduous, the relentless, the ever-caring and fatherly governor of Lagos State, Governor Akinwumi. We also have the Speaker of the Lagos State Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Adayabasa, to thank for his concern. This matter was raised on the floor of the House. We thank Honorable Shagolulade, the Honorable Member from Ekwetu, whose constituency this untoward thing happened. We thank everybody, all members who volunteered information, volunteered opinions, volunteered actions that were taken. Everything came together for good, and the boys were eventually rescued. We thank God for everything.
I'm particularly excited because I discovered that you discovered that from the house we always, ask what's going on, and we've been, in the know of activities that the state government really have been up to when it came to trying to secure their release. Very big congratulations to the families, to the young lads that have been released, to the entire citizens of Lagos State, and to Nigeria at large.
The children were taken as far as Ondo State before they were released, but then it still shows that the government and the police were on their neck, on their throats, and that is why they feel if they release the pupils in Lagos State, they could be apprehended, and that is why they go as far as Ondo State to release them. So we are grateful to God. We are very, very happy, and we thank the government, the governor of Lagos State, and the people of Lagos State.
I will have to thank the state government and the other states, especially the governor of Ondo State, who collaborated with the governor of Lagos as ensuring they are released. But it is personally I'm not too happy that our children will be with them for 65 days. Harrowing experience. They said they bath only once in a day, and once in a week, and they eat once in a day. I think those children still need to go through therapy at ensuring that they are back with their sanity. It is quite unfortunate, and as we pass the law, I will want to implore the security agencies, the police, the military, to make sure that all the culprits are brought to book. Kidnap and abduction is now a major business in Nigeria because of the activities of all these hoodlums, and unfortunately it's not too good for us. It portends trouble, it portends danger, especially when they didn't stop at elderly people. They are now kidnapping children. I see that as an affront to the law. The governor of Lagos State has been doing its utmost best at ensuring that the security of lives and property are protected in Lagos. But then it will not be only him, it has to be concerted efforts. So I will want to call on Lagosians to volunteer information to the police. I want police to do their job, and I want the courts to speed up the conviction of these criminals.
We thank God, at least they are out alive, and according to the medical report done, they are healthy. It's unfortunate because I know it's going to be a life trauma for the boys. What they've gone through at that age is going to be what they will remember for the rest of their life. It's unfortunate, but we still need to thank God that at least they are out alive. Some were kidnapped and never came out alive. And then I have to say big kudos to the police and everybody involved in their release.
I rejoice with the parents. I rejoice with them. As one of them, I believe they show 65 days out of bondage is worthy of celebration, and may this never happen to any of them again.
While parents of the kidnapped students are still basking in the euphoria of their children's release, lawmakers in the Lagos State House of Assembly have remained optimistic about the effectiveness of the legislature's anti-kidnapping law. They say the law will achieve its aim of reining in the perpetrators of the heinous act sooner than later.
After the law was passed, you will realize that the issue of kidnapping went down in Lagos State. Because if you're caught now, even at times it even says there's death. So even for the kidnappers, they know that Lagos is a place where they can't operate anymore. They need to move out of Lagos, because with the anti-kidnapping law, if you kidnap somebody and the person dies in your custody, you are going to be killed. So these are issues, and they know it. They know it too. So for me, I think the law is an effective one, and this is a test of this is a test for the law, and we'll see where it comes out.
It's because we can foresee what will be happening. We decided that it's a criminal offense to kidnap, and there are categories of kidnapping. If the victims eventually dies in the process of kidnapping, it means you also be killed by capital punishment, by death.
In the light of these insecurity issues, joining us on the program to talk about the release of the kidnapped students and of course the trend of kidnapping in Ekpe area of Lagos is the lawmaker representing Ekpe constituency 2 in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Let's go on this time out, and when we come back, the discussions will begin.
Get closer to your legislators. See them in action as they deliberate on moving the state forward. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislators closer to you.
And I have here with me the lawmaker representing Ekpe constituency 2 in the Lagos State House of Assembly.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, maybe I should start this way. Congratulations on the release of the kidnapped students in Ekpe.
Well, I thank God. We thank God.
It's
good news for us.
Of course, it's been 65 days of anguish, 65 days of pains, 65 days of trauma. I mean, for the people who were directly affected. I mean, you live in the midst of your people. You felt their pains. What was it like, sir?
Well, I would say it's the most traumatic period for us, especially for the families and for the people of Ekpe constituency 2. I would say that it's very traumatic. It's a period of agony. It's a period of trauma. It's a period that we would not like to have a repeat of in life. Going through such a painful period in one's life is terrible.
But sir, I was going to ask you, I mean, this is not the first time that the Igbonla College in Ekpe will be visited by these criminals. What's going on?
Well, I would say that, first of all, the school you are referring to have won so many laurels for this state, and the environment is an environment that encourages learning. You see, the enemy will always want to attack a place like that. And when we talk about security matter, there's limitations to what the state government can do.
Sir, what roles, if I may ask, did you play in all of this when you got wind of the news that students of Ekpe Model College were kidnapped? What roles did you play, really?
Yeah, what the first thing I did, you could recall that on the very first day that those children were kidnapped, you will recall that I was the first government official to be there. And we were able to talk to the parents, we were able to coordinate what is going on, and we're able to also put in some security measures in place and try to talk to the parents, try to also talk to the remaining students of the Igbonla College. When you look at what happened during those periods, it becomes so that we receive a lot of pressure from even people talking on radio, the media, everybody were pressurizing the government to do one thing or the other. And I think I must give it to the security agencies.
It was taking
yes,
too long.
It was taking too long. I must give it to the security agencies. I must give it to His Excellency Mr. Akinwumi Ambode. When we called for devolution of power, it's not because the state government need more power, but it's because we know that it is true that a lot can be achieved.
Now, it was gathered that These kidnapped students were found, as at the time they were released, they were found somewhere around Aboto Creek in a larger local government area of Ondo State. Now, these students were kidnapped from Lagos, but then they were found somewhere in a larger local government area of Ondo, which confirms to us that they were actually moved through the waterways. Now, how safe is our waterways?
Well, I would say proud to now, our waterways are not that safe. But I can assure you, with the current judgments at the appeal concerning NEWA Act, I think that will be arrested also.
I understand there's been an issue of the control of the waterways between the state governments and the federal governments.
And I think now we can now police our waterways. Now we can partner or collaborate with federal government by ensuring that the Navy and also the Marine Police work in conjunction with one another to provide security.
So still talking about the safety of the waterways, I mean, in securing Lagos waterways, do you see the recent court judgment that was delivered, you see it, can it really curb the activities of kidnappers?
Yes, it can, because those who are operating on our waterways, we definitely will be people that we can interact with. With that court judgment, it gives us room to legislate on something like that will secure our waterways and also provide us that enabling environment for people to do their businesses in a free world.
Now, the idea or attitude of kidnappers holding their victims while they ask for ransom, what can you say about this? I mean, they're beginning to make it look like it's actually a lucrative business.
Well, and that is why the Lagos State House of Assembly have responded to such acts by passing into law the anti-kidnapping law of Lagos State, sponsored by the Right Honourable Speaker himself, Right Honourable Mudashiru Obasa. Now we know that it's a serious issue. If any one of them is caught, that is if there is no life lost, they know they are going for, as some will even can lead to life imprisonment. Anybody that is engaged in kidnapping knows what is at stake for him or her. So, and I think they should be ready to face the full wrath of the law. So, for me, I think we have done what is expected of us, and I know that this current government will implement that law to the fullness.
Now, still talking about the release of these boys, I know quite all right that a lot of people actually contributed to the release, the Lagos State government and all. I'm sure the Ondo State government also played a role. What do you like to say to that?
Yes, I must say thank you to the entire Southwest, for the federal government, the acting president, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, the governor of Ondo State, Mr. Akeredolu, and all other Southwest governors for the collaborations. And I think a lot of people play a major role in ensuring that we have the children back home. And I also want to thank our security agencies, starting from the Inspector General of Police to the Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owosheni, for the role they all played. The DSS people played very fantastic role in ensuring that we have these boys back home safely.
And I think the Lagos State House of Assembly also did something at one of its plenaries.
Yes, I also want to use this opportunity to thank the leadership of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honourable Mudashiru Obasa, all the principal officers, all our members, the Lagos State House of Assembly members and staffs of Lagos State House of Assembly, for standing with us at this critical period of our life, for identifying with the people of Epe Constituency 2 with the people of Igbonla in particular and the students and parents of that school and the management and staff of the school during this painful, agonizing period of our life. We thank God.
I said agonizing indeed.
Yes, we thank God that today we can now smile and smile very well.
So in securing the release of these boys, would you say you were satisfied with the roles played by the Nigerian police?
Yes, I must say, and that's why I said that patient is golden. For some of us, we felt they should have done it in Jack Robinson way. But at the end of the day, we got the results. And for me, the result is the key. So I believe that the police will have learned 1 or 2 lessons.
We could actually call it a litmus test for them, yes. Kind of. Now, the information we got recently is that these kidnappers are actually planning a comeback. They have threatened to return to this same school. I mean, that is enough to send cold shoulders down the spine of the people of Ekpe, whose interests you represent in the House of Assembly.
I would say that would be suicide mission for any kidnapper or any criminal tendency persons to want to come to Ekpe now. It's going to be a suicide mission for them. Like I said, we never thought it's going to happen. It happened the first time. Now the second time, I can assure you.
And now they're planning a comeback.
Yeah, let them come. They will meet us better than what they ever imagined. And I believe they won't even try it. It's going to be a suicide mission for anyone who try to do such any longer. Because now government, all high are on Ekpe now to ensure that in times of security, Ekpe will remain the most secure part of Nigeria.
I'm still talking about security. What is the government doing to ensure that schools in this community are secure?
Like I said, a lot have been put in place. I don't want to expose what we've been doing, but I can assure you that we have put in a lot since the incidents occurred the last time, and I'm very, very, very sure that no such thing could happen again in our terrain.
And to the people of Ekpe community who I believe are still recovering from the recent kidnap case, what would you like to say to them at the moment? Even with the recent threat by the kidnappers to return to the community, I'm sure by now they will still be nursing this fear in them that who knows, you know, who the next victim would be.
Well, to my people in Ekpe Constituency 2 in particular and the entire Ekpe, I want to assure you that Ekpe remains the safest place in this country today. We'll continue to work together as communities. We'll continue to work together as the people who believe in development, who are also ready to secure our people and secure our communities. Well, for everybody in Ekpe, Ekpe is very, very secure. For maybe from outside that view, a lot of fear are being created. I don't think we have such fear any longer because of the presence of security agencies and because of all the things. And now it has become a collective effort. The local man, the traditional rulers, everybody in the society, in the communities within Ekpe are rising to the occasion. Please feel free to talk to somebody once you see any strange face around you. If you're a criminal, Ekpe is no go area for you. Don't joke with this. Thank you.
All right, reassuring words there coming from the lawmaker representing Ekpe Constituency 2 in the Lagos State House of Assembly on the rising insecurity within the area. I must thank you for coming on the program.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
coming on the program.
For having me here. And you can see the smile now. I can smile now.
Of course.
And we are all happy.
There's peace now in Ekpe.
There's peace in Ekpe.
And everyone is happy.
And Ekpe is free of any form of insecurity. Come to Ekpe and enjoy your life. And keep it up TVC.
Thank you. And I've been chatting with the lawmaker representing Ekpe constituency 2 in the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Segun Olulade, who also happens to be the Chairman House Committee on Health. The program continues shortly. Please stay with us. And with that, we've come to the end of the program for this week. We thank you for staying with us till I come away again next week. Remember, you can watch previous episodes of Lagos Parliament on www.youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Igbonla Students. Bye for now.